Thank you for joining me and welcome to this new series that I have for the daily. So this is partly daily and partly a reading. So these videos are not going to be localized to a specific day, but they're meant to replace the daily. And they won't happen all the time, but once in a while. I have a really big tarot card collection just from doing the videos here, and so I thought that I could do that 78 card reading for every single one of the decks that I have. So if you're watching this today, I'm going to review the Animal Lords Tarot, or Tarot of the Animal Lords. It's a really beautiful deck. It's one of my favorite ones, and it's the second time I've actually purchased it. The first time I gave it away when I did a deck purge, and I definitely missed it. And it has lots of really cute animals. It's just a really lovely deck. So whenever you're watching this, the way the series works is that I'm going to do my 78 card reading. And while doing the 78 card reading, I will do a review of the cards themselves, so you guys can kind of watch along. I'm reading this in March 2018, but the video is going to stay up, and the purpose of it is to see the entire deck and to kind of get a reading as well. So here is the insert cards that come with it. Pretty basic for Los Scarborough. One of my favorite deck companies for publishing. They're really nice, and many of the decks that I've gotten through them I really enjoy. The backs are very monochrome. They're just the High Priestess in like a mirror sort of image of herself. It reminds me of like regular not tarot cards, regular playing cards, where you have the person kind of the king or the queen sort of mirroring each other. So okay, so every time that I do the reading, I'll just pick out a deck, I'll shuffle it a few times, and we'll do a full reading based on this deck. So and yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this idea. Let me know if there's a deck that you guys want me to use down below. And yeah, so this is the Two of Cups. So I read this when I was working with marginalized women. I don't know how to say it. Street entrenched women. So women who were really struggling in their life. And it was a really dark time in my life, and that's why I purged the deck, because it was very hard kind of work to do. I did it for about 3 years, and it was very emotionally taxing. So because I used it at the time that I was working with street entrenched women, it was just very like difficult for me, not personally, just experiencing it's a hard reality to face when you're learning about what people go through, right? So at the end I was very emotionally exhausted, and so I purged the deck. But recently, about a year ago, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get that deck again, because I truly do love it. So I chose to bring the camera in close so you guys can see the cards themselves. And so you guys have like a zoom in. You can see the cards themselves. So you guys have to trust me on, shuffling the cards, because I can't do this and then hold the cards, and it's all kind of janky. So just I guess it's a little Scout's honor here for making sure that everything's set. So we have the cards. This reading is for you for your daily, but it's whenever you watch it. So whenever you watch a video in this series, that's when the reading is for you. So even if it's 10 years from now, if you're watching this video to review the deck, this reading is for you. So it's kind of based on the deck's energy, all signs, of course. Okay, so I'm really glad that you guys liked the 78 card reading last night, so I'm doing it this way. And it won't be every day that we do it for the daily, but once in a while, to get through all my decks, I'll post a video. And if you are a deck creator and you want me to use your tarot card deck, then let me know and I'll do it for you. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Okay. And if you guys are interested, while you're doing the live chat, you guys can actually comment on what I'm doing in stream. So if you like a card, then by all means, you know, make your comments. So I hope you enjoy this way of doing it. It looks like my video is not promoted, but hey girl, hey, whatever. Okay, so here is your first card. We have the Two of Pentacles. This is the two of Pentacles, Two of Discs, and all Lost Scarborough cards have 4 different languages. I think it's French, English, Italian, and probably Spanish. So, oh, and then German, there's 6. And then I don't know what I know it's German and some other language. So anyway, so here we go. So Two of Pentacles, in this current situation, there's probably some degree of really working hard towards your goals. There's a lot of different things to put into play before you're moving forward in a situation or circumstance. I feel like not everything's in its place, so until you get those things in place, things will be a little bit here, there, everywhere, right? The next card is the Last Judgment, and so I feel as though there is a bit of a decision that you are making, maybe about who you want to be or where you want to go with things. I think that things are surprising you, you know. The odd becomes real, just like a bird sitting in the mouth of an alligator. But yeah, there's a big decision to be made, a discernment about what is the best path or course for you. And then we have the Queen of Swords. The decision is about a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra woman, and in some way she is a very kind of matter-of-fact individual, somebody who has very kind of keen wits about them, or keen ideas about them, about what's right and about what's wrong, and about what they want to bring forward into situations and circumstances. I feel as though you're making a final decision about what you're going to do in relation to this individual, and it's in part of the other things that you're dealing with. There's also a King of Cups involved here. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I've used this deck for years, so I know it very well. So the King of Cups is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I have a feeling that there could be some kind of mixed love signals going around. So if you're not the Queen of Swords, then there is another Queen of Swords around. I'm guessing the majority of my viewers are women, but if you're a man watching this, the opposite is true. If you're not the King of Cups, then there could be another person around. But there's a big decision being made about a relationship, and people are trying to figure out exactly what they want. The Hierophant represents marriage, so this could be a decision about what you want in terms of your life moving forward, who you want to be, what you want in that relationship. I love this elk, so beautiful. And so who you want to be in a relationship, what you want to commit to, who you want to pair up with, who you want to join. And I think that this is a part of being ready to give and take in a situation, to help others and let them help you, you know, and kind of live together with others towards common ground. And actually the Hierophant and this card represent the same meaning. So or very similar meanings. They're complementary. This is the archetype and this is the experiential card. But I feel like, you know, it's all about sharing. No man is an island is the idea with these cards, and all that kind of energy of not necessarily you know, just thinking out for only yourself, thinking more collectively and for a group, or at least a pair of people. It looks like a relationship is forming for some of you. Okay, so next card, we have the Eight of Swords, and it's like, but how do you do it? It seems as though, you know, life is very much pressuring you towards certain ends, and it seems frightening. There could be some questions about like which way to go from here, and very intimidated by, you know, potential threats. And so, you know, it's that kind of feeling of how do you deal with the circumstances that you found yourself in. Maybe you've made decisions towards a certain outcome and now you are needing to defend, but there will be some kind of personal virtue that comes through, strength. This is the Magician. And so out of nowhere, you'll understand some personal power and be able to bring it into action and make it really work for yourself, you know. Actualize what you want, push it forward, really push down towards the things that you want. And then we have, this is the Seven of Pentacles. So although you have a lot of effort right now, a lot of spunk, that comes out of this situation. So there will be a situation, just to reiterate, that you will solve or resolve, and you will be left to kind of deal with some long-term implications of this current new energy. So it's not like you get it and you use it up all the time and run away with it. You think about the long-term consequences of your choices and decisions and the direction you need to go. And I feel like that is going to be very much guided by your subconscious, by deepest subconscious needs, where you want to see your life go. And so I feel like you're driven by like a deeper meaning. And that's when we're really in the flow of things, allowing ourselves to coincide with our environment and, and flow naturally towards the things that we want, right? Next, we have the Sun, and that leads to happiness, fulfillment of wishes. And this is where we want to get to, is to get out of the headspace of any kind of barriers that we're experiencing and move towards cohesion, you know, moving forward to a place of empowerment and feeling confident about the direction that you want to take. Hi, Tyler. You're watching my 78 card reading review of the Animal Lords Tarot. Thanks for stopping by, babe. And everybody go follow Tyler's tarot. He's been very nice to me. Very nice friend, Tyler. I've had a really hard week, and seeing you in the middle of the night posting videos. But it's been hard to get through to you. You're so popular. Everybody's just screaming at you. So anyway, happy birthday. I was there to say happy birthday. I don't know if you missed it, but this is the deck I'm reviewing and doing a daily reading for. Okay, so we have the Empress. So this represents moving forward towards happiness, being true to yourself, and with that kind of finding your center. Now, if you're a man like Tyler, then maybe this represents a mother figure or a woman who you have like respect for. It could be an aspect of your feminine personality, but it can actually also represent just a part of yourself, but also externalized. For women, this is really about like listening to your inner goddess, understanding some truth, letting that come to the forefront, and feeling like a mother wolf. Mother wolves, there's like a saying about that, about how mother wolves protect their children, right? And how protective they are of their little cubs. Look how cute that little cub is. And so yeah, so the Empress represents this kind of maternal instinct and taking care of others, etc. So that's leading you towards new opportunities, new directions, hope for a new tomorrow, setting off on a new journey in a new directions and a new direction, and being excited about what prospects it will bring for you. And then we have the Three of Wands, and this is a part of you're taking, do you guys know what transferable skills are? It's when you kind of take something from one direction and set it off in another, right? So maybe you've moved on from one job to another and you're applying your skills in a new direction, and you're hoping that your transferable skills, the skills that you used in one job that you hope to use in the next job, are going to work well. And so you're waiting for the touchdown, the thing that will kind of really get you a return on the efforts that you have put in. And that will lead you towards kind of thinking about yourself in a deeper way, to really consider exactly where you're going or what you're getting yourself into. So having some foresight into where you want to be or who you want to become. And with deeper understanding, with a deeper understanding and consideration, there will be a good outcome. So it's slowing down and really considering the choices that you're making and moving forward towards a better outcome, you know. And then we have the Six of Cups. So this is a soulmate card. So moving in the right direction still. This is a confirmation that you will move in the right direction. This is Sun in Scorpio as well. So moving in the right direction, understanding what's right for yourself, finding gratitude for the things that happen behind you, and moving forward towards good things. In the immediate present, it's really taking a look back and assessing where your feelings were in a situation, you know, where your feelings were in a situation, or the way that you felt something about something, and now you are letting it go and feeling positively towards your life. So you have to kind of find the positivity in a situation, and rather than sulking about it, really think about where you've come from or how you feel about a situation, so you can take it to a position of power, right? Moving on from a more upright position than the Five of Cups. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So when you address the thing, something's holding you back, I feel. It's that feeling of sadness. It's that feeling of longing, looking at the things you don't have. And I think that as you address that feeling, new opportunities come to you that will allow you more financial opportunities, more physical opportunities. You may even actually take up exercise in order to address your issues associated with, you know, your emotions, to let go of the emotions and move forward in good ways. And I feel like this has something to do with the Queen of Cups. Look at her, she's a little peacock. Although it doesn't make sense, because only male peacocks have the plumage, you know, whatever. We'll forgive them this time. But it's a really gorgeous card, and she's really pretty. So this is the Queen of Chalices, and she's a huge influence on you now, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, in a positive way. And I feel like you're going to have to spend some time in this space. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be like longer than you want to. It's like more waiting. It's a period of building. It's a period of repetition where you have to do the same thing over and over again to see the effect. You'll get to the end of this. This is the Seven of Cups. You're going to do a fair bit of daydreaming, like about Pegasus and you know, the directions that you want to take. And so yeah, moving forward in new directions, and kind of in your mind, at least, imagining where you want to go. Pegasus is the son of Medusa, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that, but yeah, son of Medusa, and in Greek mythology. So it's pretty neat mythological creature. But the Seven of Cups, you know, really sometimes when you can kind of visualize where you're going, even if it's a bit of a jump in reason, it still kind of gets you to where you need to be. Especially if you're in a situation in which you're stuck in, right? Then you can kind of, in some way, get to where you're going before you're there, at least in your head. And this allows you to have, this is my favorite card, the Page of Chalices, the Knight of Chalices, Knight of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And so this is the daydreamer. This is the one who throws caution to the wind in some way and does things that other people won't dare because it's inappropriate. This is the romantic, and I feel like somebody is going to match you at that energy. This could be friendship, but it can be more than that as well, depending on your situation. But if you really allow yourself to be soft at this time and dream for the best, even though the situation around you is somewhat static, then somebody comes in and is in some way kind of giving you hope and inspiration. And then we have the Star. This is such a funny card, the stars. And so I love this card. It's so pretty. And so, yeah, so it's important, you know, even if you don't see the purpose of this interaction or situation, it is important for you at this time, and it has significance that's greater than your current experience. Sorry. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So new relationship, soulmate experience. Yeah, I'm feeling very squishy about this. This is feeling really, really good. So it's like a period of stasis where you have to wait something out, but there's a lot of emotional nice stuff going on around you. And then we have the Nine of Wands, which represents kind of sticking to your territory, sticking to your lane. I'm a stick it to your lane kind of person, you know, kind of Virgo, like keep to your lane, do your own thing. I'll do my own thing. We're fine. And the only time that I get really mad is when people encroach on other people's personal boundaries. But yeah, so you have this kind of, I like this card, the Nine of Rods, because of that. It's all about, you know, do your own thing. We will be fine. You've built up security for yourself emotionally, and now moving forward, and now moving forward to a position that you feel comfortable with. So here is a world. So through that, you're going to start thinking about the different opportunities that are around you outside of your current community. I think that the thing in your situation right now is that you're really stuck to a specific space. So you're stuck in a location, and even if you go somewhere, you're still kind of entrenched in this location. You know, so in some way you want to kind of break away from where you are right now and move on in a new direction. And I think that that's going to happen once you feel a little bit safer emotionally, which we just saw come through. And that will leave you to allow yourself to move on from something. I love this card, but it isn't necessarily like the happiest card. To me, it feels like very dark and cold. So... oh, somebody made a comment that somebody made a comment about reversals, which is kind of off topic, but thanks for asking. I did a video on reversal readings, which is in my specials playlist, and I counted specifically how many cards are... Hey everyone, sorry, I just got disconnected for a minute, but I'm glad to be back. I didn't change the orientation of the reading. Hopefully this will put the videos together again. But somebody made the comment that the cards should be shuffled upside down and right side up. It seems really kind of out of place from this reading to make such a comment, but thanks for suggesting it or whatever. I did a video about this on my specials playlist like a few years ago, where I counted how many iterations there was of positive manifestation with an upright deck versus a mixed upright and reversal. And reversal cards, when you read reversal cards, the proportion of negative outcomes that are possible becomes staggering to like 75 to 25% negative. Whereas if you read upright, it's about 60% to 40% positive. So you end up with a much more balanced reading if you do upright. At the end of the day, it's a personal choice for every reader, whatever makes sense to them. But I do have that video. But yeah, if you guys can stop, not make comments that are like off topic when we're doing the live, because you know, it just distracts the reading. But yeah, thanks for asking. Feel free to leave comments like that after the show once the video is posted. Okay, so why don't we keep going with the reading? Hopefully YouTube didn't separate the reading into two parts. But where were we? So we had this period in which you were kind of more settled emotionally, and now you were getting ready to go out into the world and see the possibilities because you were feeling better about what you have. And I think that the next step was in some way moving on or moving forward from situations that were unbecoming for you and moving forward. And I feel like that had to do, there would require some kind of very careful maneuvering from you. It's not going to be easy. People are not going to give up space for you to do that in any way. So there's going to be like a little bit of a delay or a little bit of, obstacles that you will have to work through in order to get to where you are going. Actually, you might find yourself really dealing with some kind of competitor, some kind of direct person who, kind of wants to have it their way, wants the limelight, or maybe doesn't feel comfortable with what you're doing, and so tries to step in the way in some kind of low-key way to affect change. And I feel like that's going to lead you to feel kind of disheartened. This is the Three of Swords. So this is kind of feeling sad about the way that people are. And so the Three of Swords can kind of leave people feeling kind of not necessarily a broken heart. I mean, it could be kind of breaking up, but it can actually be also kind of seeing kind of the ugly side of people and kind of through that, feeling disheartened about the way people are. This is my big motto, and this is a new thing for 2018. I've thought it before, but now it's really significant. Basically, you kind of have to, how do you say this? My friend's a Pisces, and she said to me, I'm really tired of how ugly people are. How they try to do negative things to one another and try to hurt one another. And, I thought about this, and I've thought that myself, like, why are people so nasty to each other and whatnot? And I feel like what we see, and this is a big theme for me for 2018, what we see is the ugly people rearing their ugly heads, and then actually the majority of us are nice. So you end up feeling like there's all these mean people in the world, but it's only the mean ones that kind of show up, right? Because they're the ones who cause havoc or trouble. So I feel like this situation is really to do with that. It's just one person, and whoever you're struggling with, they're provoking you to have some bad thoughts, some insecurities, but it's just one person in a sea of many. And then I think that it's important for you to throw a lot of positivity at the situation. So when you realize that it's just one person amid, a lot of good people, one bad apple, so to speak, then it's up to you to redirect your energy towards positive things and uplifting messages and good feelings, right? And I think that the person to turn to is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This is someone who's very grounded and practical. This is not somebody who is in a certain way caught up in emotions or hurtful themselves. And I feel like, oh, look at this. So if you're gay, then hello. It looks like two kings met, King of Wands, a Sagittarius or Aries. But you could be around a couple different men, probably somewhat older. They could be talking about financial matters. This could be a financial discussion as well. And I feel like they're kind of trying to figure out what is the best way to work through in a final situation where everything has been said and done, and a situation has completely been kind of rehashed, devastated, and kind of broken apart. I feel as though this is the only answer is to set off in this new direction. It's the same direction that you were thinking about with the World card. So I feel like, setting off in a new direction and being excited about which way to go. And I think that you really need to find peace with what's going on. You can't do it on the fly, and you can't just rush out of this situation and go in a new direction or something. There's real peace in where you need to be emotionally to take it to the next level and to move on. So this is really so far about moving on, moving past in situations, finding catharsis, and finding peace, right? And so, and I think that that will start when you, this is the Knave of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles. And so this is you really thinking about where you will be going practically. Where will you financially go? Where can you actually ground yourself? So a little low-key secret is I don't really like Vancouver. And again, that same Pisces friend is like, you have to move, 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 move. And, you know, there's a lot of pluses to living in Canada, but there's a lot of downsides too that people don't really talk about. So if you have that issue, then there's no one to really understand. And so she's like, just move to the US, you know, whatever. But the reality is you have to find where to ground your energy, where you can't just move unless you're like 20. You can't just move for the sake of moving. You could, I guess, but it's not very practical. So I think that in this case, you're kind of also looking, where can you ground that energy? Where are you actually going to go that's going to make sense? Is somebody going to offer you a job? And you know, yeah, that's one thing about Vancouver. You can't really, or Canada, you can't really talk about the negative side of it. It's very kind of, you know, that sirens. Andrea says, oh, there's sirens. That's one of the things. There's like a subtext culture of not speaking the truth here, which is very difficult to be around, because if there is problems, people don't want to talk about them. So you're right, it's like it is that 1984 scenario here a little bit. So we have the Knave of Pentacles, and I think that before you make your choice where you're going to go or how you're going to move forward, I think you're going to start thinking really practically about exactly what to do, where are you going to work, what is the purpose of moving. And I think that as you figure that out, there could be either a friend, a Sag, Leo, or Aries, who comes through and she brings to the situation an uplifting attitude and positivity. Or possibly this is something within yourself. As you recognize your traits, those transferable skills, you're like, oh, I can do this here or there, you know. And as you get aligned with what you want for within yourself, then you start thinking about the good luck and the fulfillment that you will have, the wish coming true, so to speak. So if you guys want to make a wish now, this is the time to do it. And then that will help you really find closure. So I don't know if you noticed in the sequence of cards, this is a sequential reading, right? And so at the beginning, the cards of moving on were really dark, like the Six of Swords, and it was like you were trying to find a path and like kind of more darker imagery, right? And you had to go through all of this to actually get to a level of like this Chariot card, which is like bright yellow, you know, swan overcoming. Here, I'll try to show you close up, because these cards are good in the details. That's why I don't usually read with them, because they're better where you can really see every single little detail. But yeah, so you're going to overcome whatever it is that you're working through, and you will find like a new path through it. And I think that life will give you incentive at that time. So if you're feeling like right now you're not gaining, you know, positive reinforcement for the things you want, you really want things, but they're not coming together for you in the way that you want them to be, I feel like there's going to be something that comes through that will give you that extra little bit of gifts. Once you reach this level, you have to live through the motions and figure out exactly what you're doing, the course of direction. And once you figure out that course of direction, there will be incentives. The world will start falling into your lap, and not easy necessarily, but you will have, you know, people helping you or people coming out of the woodwork to help you. And I think that it's still going to be, you know, a bit of a grind to see things through. There's history that you're bringing forward, and history is heavy. You know, when they say, you know, people bring baggage into relationships, well, people have baggage. The longer you live, or the more complex your life situation is, the more baggage you have. So don't feel like it's going to disappear suddenly, but you're almost there. You're almost there in terms of where you want to go, and that's why you need the momentum. And, you know, speak positively of yourself. Speak positively of what you want to do. I love this card. It's so strong, the Walrus. You know, standing up for what's right, keeping an upright attitude and moving forward, and that comes your victory. So we have roosters, the Six of Wands, really beautiful card. And so yeah, you'll find your victory in whatever it is that you're doing, and I feel like that's going to be the point of personal strength. This is the Strength card. This isn't my favorite card. I usually think of Strength card as much more, you know, this just seems really intense, but still, you're going to find your personal strength and move forward towards things that you want, and that's going to be fulfilling. That's when things come together for you and your relationships solidify. You know, it's checking your stuff. I think that overall the reading is saying that you're in some way, you know, identifying where you want to go and then taking a clear account of what's going on for you and then moving forward in that direction. And, you know, it's careful movement, and all those savings that you put in before at the beginning of the reading, so go back to the beginning, they're going to start yielding results, and you'll understand how your intuition has been guiding you all along. This is the High Priestess. So this is the card you will see on the back here. So there we go. So yeah, so this is the High Priestess, insight and intuition towards new outcomes. And this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is where you'll really do the work, where when work will come to you based on like just the things that you want to achieve, when work will come to you naturally, where you'll get up and just do the work that you need to do without forcing yourself. It's not going to be, you know, what you don't want to do. You're going to be motivated to do whatever it is that you're doing to achieve. And that will lead you to financial success, the Ten of Pentacles. So it is leading to, you know, the formation of family or some type of success, maybe a little bit of greed. So maybe this is a part of a future experience. Of course, this is the Devil. And yeah, greed for money, you know, in some way. So taking it easy with regard to where you want to go and not just start focusing on money only may be a challenge in the future. But I think that as it happens, you're going to get really nervous also as there's some greed that's happening around you. And I think that that will also encourage you to take a different direction or try something new. And it's an indecision that you're making between two different options, trying to figure out what the best path for you will be. And there you'll meet a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. And so this is the Knight of Pentacles. And they will have an agenda. They will want to do something financially, or they will want to do something in the direction that they want to go in. And they'll be like, okay, let's do it. So they'll be very interested, and they'll have the means to work hard and to help you move along. And that's when, you know, Queen of Pentacles. So you have a lot of earth signs around you. I think that build up your own success and they will come, you know, the people around you who help and support you. And then we have the King of Swords, who's a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. So we have just a lot of people around you at this time when you come into your own. And there will be a question about, you know, sharing wealth or sharing security between people. And I feel like people will be considering the different kind of paths that we're on and how to share and how to work cohesively together. And I think that that will change your perspective about life a little bit. So once you've already reached that place and you see that there's some people who are trying to figure out how to, you know, manage financial circumstances, this will lead you to a perspective change. And I think that ultimately this is the Knave of Chalices, that you're not seeing something in the situation emotionally. I think that you're somewhat being protected or hidden from the truth about these circumstances, and especially circumstances with these people. And I think that that's once you start to learn and realize what their experiences are, once you learn what their situation is, that's going to give you inspiration for yours. And it'll motivate you to change. So this is the Death card. It'll motivate you to change and take a different turn in a new direction. And there will be maybe possibly a change in work where you kind of move away from a job that you've been doing and you feel inspired to go towards something else. Yeah, definitely change, and it'll be abrupt. You might walk out on a job or something, or just completely change the path that you're on. This might have to do something with a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Somebody's pushing really hard on you to make a choice in a certain direction. So this person is really incentivizing you to make a choice that you wouldn't maybe necessarily make on your own, especially not at this time. So really build yourself up, build up your self-confidence. And I feel like this person is doing a lot of this kill 'em with kindness kind of stuff, like kind of making you feel too comfortable about the direction that you're taking, feeling too safe. And you just need to figure out a polite way to get away from that. But you need to, this is the Four of Wands. Focus on your home, focus on your family. If you're in a relationship, focus on that, but definitely bring friends around. And I feel like that's going to help you move on from that stressful situation where somebody's trying to, you know, in some way step over those boundaries that I was mentioning before. And I think that as you do so, you'll find like more harmonious levels of family and togetherness with others, and that can lead to marriage. So together all these cards signify, I think, you know, movement towards a relationship. I think that that person was already there. And here we have the Love card, the Two of Cups. Give it a sec. So we have the Two of Cups, right? So I think that this is like turning away from the past in a big way. If you watch the whole reading, you'll see turning away from the past, and, you know, still on some level you'll feel guilty about how things went down or how things are, but you can't control it because that's the Justice card. That's the fairness, and that's the order. You just have to do it the way that's fair to you. And you don't want to, you know, be so fair to yourself that you're unfair to others, but you have to follow through with things that are going to get you somewhere. Sometimes people who are struggling in life with some kind of abuse or some kind of bad situation, one of the reasons they have such a hard time leaving that situation behind is that they identify with the people they're leaving, and maybe somebody is already there, you know, waiting for them in a positive sense to bring fairness and order into their life. And so I think that, you know, don't let other people convince you of their opinions and try to get you to be doing what they want you to do, because they look at this, they could be pretending to sympathize, but there could be ulterior motives. So really get yourself firm about where you're coming from, and get yourself firm about where you want to go, and don't identify too closely with the people that you're leaving behind, or anybody who's not being right by you. You know, move forward in a positive direction. You'll find success. I just cut the cards, so we have a little bit of success. I'll just pull some random cards to tell you guys the most important ones. I hope you guys liked the reading. Definitely leave me a like. It looks like the video was not promoted, but that's okay. So we have the Ace of Swords. So your important cards are the Ace of Swords, the King of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, and the Five of Pentacles. Sharing in some kind of way. You know that sharing is caring thing, but this is more fundamental. And the Two of Wands, where you might have a change in vision or opinion. You also remain flexible how you see the situation. There's a new relationship that's dawning, and that you're about to figure out what it is. It could be the relationship with a King of Swords, where you've kind of reached some kind of personal victory. And I don't think it's victory over him. I think it's victory within yourself. Like really kind of overcome certain things. Okay, so here is a Romance Angel card. So it's a reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning into your life. Reconciliation, victory, but it's a good victory. Don't feel like, you know, just do you. And I hope that you guys enjoy these readings, and I hope that you guys enjoy the cards. They're really one of my favorite cards. They're so pretty. I love animals, and so yeah, they're really nice. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.